Hey friends, well, look at this, what a treat. We have not one, but two Hoover Turbopower U2634s. Wow. So since I did the last video, and I've done a restoration on my 2634, some information has come to light about these cleaners. Now, I always thought they were a particularly rare model of Turbopower because I'd never seen them, and they aren't mentioned in the Hoover service books. Well, sorry, they are mentioned, but there's no detail given on them. And they first appeared in 1990. So I think they ran from 1990 to 1992. But the most interesting part of this cleaner is the fact that it's actually a co-op exclusive model. So these cleaners were only sold in co-op stores in the UK. Now, to my non-UK viewers, the co-op is a chain of supermarket stores, kind of like Tesco, like Walmart, I guess, but on a much smaller scale than Walmart. You know, like you have Walmart's like that, co-ops like that. It's, you know, it's a massive difference. But yeah, they are a supermarket chain, and I can recall back in the day that they used to have electrical stores as well. So what happened here was that the co-op went to Hoover and said, "Can you make us a vacuum cleaner?" Hoover would have said, "Yeah, all right then, give us some money," and co-op wrote a check, and they ended up with a 2634. So I think that's really cool, actually, and that's why you don't see many of these cleaners. It would have been an incredibly limited run. Probably, now I'm guessing here, probably somewhere between 25 and 50,000 of these cleaners would have been made, because they didn't, you know, they wouldn't want hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of them. They would want a limited number to put in the co-op stores. So yeah, I think that's really cool. That mystery is solved. So thank you to everyone who commented on the original video of the 2634 to let me know that, and also on the eBay auction as well. Because this is my original one that I've had for some years, and this is the one that I showed you in the other video. So this 2634 has now been sold. I don't know how much it's gone for. I say it's been sold. The auction ends this evening. This is Sunday that I'm filming this video. So this would have been sold by the time this video gets published. I'll put up how much it went for. I'm not expecting it to go for a huge amount of money for, well, mainly the reason that it's quite faded. This is the colour that this cleaner should be, this nice grey, and this is the colour that this particular model is. It's not looking great. This is grey, this is greeny grey, and that's why I was so pleased to have found this one on eBay. What is quite interesting about these cleaners, and I think you can just about see it from where you are, is they have different height control knobs. These are the right knobs for these particular cleaners. This one is a 1991 machine, whereas this one is 1992. And in that period, Hoover changed over these knobs from this square style, earliest square style that came with the Mark I Turbopowers, to this sort of more rounded, stylized knob here. So yeah, that's quite cool. When I realised that, I thought, oh, I really like the earlier one. I really want the early machine, because the early ones are like, you know, it's nice to have an early one. But yeah, this colour is not good. So we're going to stick with the 1992 one for the collection. And it's just a couple of things that I want to talk about on this particular cleaner. So we're going to lose this one. We're going to say thank you for your service. Thank you for being a stopgap for quite a few years now, probably 10 years or so. Mad, long time. And yeah, I hope the new owner of this cleaner enjoys it and loves it. But we're going to lose this one now and take a closer look at the more grey 2634. There were a couple of things that I wanted to do to this cleaner to make it as good as it possibly could be. We still have the crack in the hood here. It's a real shame about this. I'm so tempted to take some heat to it and sort of try and remold the plastic, but the trouble is it's in such a prominent place on the cleaner, and if I did it wrong and if I got it wrong, this would look horrendous and it would look even worse than it looks now. So I'm kind of thinking that it's not worth doing. I'm just going to leave it be. You never know, a miracle might happen. Another hood might turn up at some point that's in a reasonable colour. We can hope. Now, previously as well, if you recall on the last video, it had a really bad lean to it. But now, even with the cable on the back, so this obviously adds extra weight to pull the machine backwards, it's really nice and straight. This is nice. This is a nice upright Turbopower. And I did that by repairing the pivot point that's down here. So you've got the ratchet mechanism, which you will have seen in previous videos that I've done on the Turbopower. There's like splines on the bottom of the back moulding at the bottom on the pivot point. There's splines that run through to a really tough nylon kind of nut that goes on the end, which is actually the rotating ratchet. Now those splines can break, and that's what happened to this particular cleaner. And when that happens, the black body will lean back because there's not enough force holding it up. So it's really simple to fix. You just very carefully, well, you take the cleaner apart, take that ratchet nut off, have a look at which bits are broken, use some really strong glue, like a really, really strong glue, not super glue, that won't do it, and glue the splines back on, which are broken, and then take some hot glue and cover the whole thing in hot glue, and then quickly put the ratchet nut back on. Now that combination of the glue, sorry, the sticky glue and the hot glue holds that ratchet nut in place, and you end up with your perfectly straight body. So yeah, that's worked well. Something else I did was service the motor. You know, they always need doing. This machine is what, 28 years old now. The cooling fan gets full of fluff and dirt. The bearings get dry. They need a really good clean, a really, really thorough deep clean of the motor. Lubricate the bearings, job done. Nice. The brush rod was great. That was in nice shape. And I think the only other thing that I had to do was to repair the lower cord hook. Now I'm going to bring it down closer now so you can see this, because you probably can't see it particularly well from there. But this lower cord hook was snapped, and I actually have this in my parts bin. It's the right colour for it. It's not the right colour because it's faded. As you can see, there's a marked difference there between the colours. But this is actually the right lower cord hook for this cleaner. So I fixed it. Come down and take a closer look. So here's a close-up view of this lower cord hook. As you can see, there's two rivets in it, and you can clearly see the split line here. So this, when this snapped, it snapped at this point, and they all go at that point there. Strangely, I think that must be the weakest part of the whole hook. They're not particularly strong anyway, so yeah, easily done. So how did I do this? Well, I'm just going to flash up a picture on your screen, and you'll see that what I've done is shaped a little piece of metal to go behind here, and then I've drilled through the hook on these points and then put a couple of rivets through. So behind these rivets is a piece of metal that's actually holding this lower section of hook on, and it works pretty well, I must say. It's actually stronger than it was when it was new. So yeah, that's a sort of a quick, well, semi-quick, easy way to repair your lower cord hook. Obviously, you've got these rivets showing, which are silver. I suppose you could like put some black over those, or try and colour them in to match the plastic colour, but it doesn't really matter. It's a lower cord hook, you know. I mean, that's always a bonus. But close up here, you can see the colour difference between the older hook here and the back plastic. It's a very this is very much darker than what this is. Fading, the bane of every vacuum collector's life. And there we go. That's a nice overview of our 2634, a very, very rare Turbopower. I can't believe I've got two of them here. That's really quite something, but obviously that one's going, so I'll be back down to one. Really pleased to have found this. I am really happy with it. I know we've got the crack in the hood, but to find one of these in really nice shape is very, very hard. So this is a nice piece for the Turbopower collection. I had a count earlier, actually yesterday. I now have 36 Turbopowers, which is crazy. And I think that's like 96% of all Turbopowers ever made, all the different models. Well, that's the theory. I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot more out there. See, this is what Hoover did. They make these funny ones in really limited numbers, and then they become really hard to find. So whether or not I'll be able to complete my Turbopower set remains to be seen. I've got time left, so maybe I can. But anyway, I think we should now take this into the lounge and give it a run. It's that will actually be the first time that I've used it properly, so I'm quite looking forward to that. That's enough waffling from me. Don't forget to do the usual: comment, subscribe, like, etc. I really like hearing from you guys. Let me know if you've ever seen one of these previously, U2634. Let me know if you've got one as well. It would be nice to know that there are other machines of this model out there. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.